Hello, this is Tom with the Tractor Rescue Ranch. I'm here at Scott's house. We're going to spend some time working on this 8N today. You can see right there that we ended up with a box of new parts for it, so we're going to get them all put in and see if we can breathe life into this old girl today. Okay, the first thing I'm going to work on here is the points and condenser out of this distributor. And the biggest thing to watch for on this is to don't drop the screws down inside it. That screwdriver is magnetic, that's helpful. So you've just got the 3 screws on there, and then there's should be a nut to break loose on the wire. So there's the points and condenser. Got them coming new. I sure don't like the wire that they had going up to it. We're going to have to work on that and see if we can't do a better job on that. I'll bet that's why the spark was so leak, because it's just got random wires sticking out and they're going all over. Probably part of it was grounded out, so we'll have to fix that problem. Got the new points and condenser and the new wire to hook it to there. Just a matter now of putting this all back together without dropping screws and nuts. Okay, got that all together there. What you do, if I can get this camera lined up, you can see the high point on the cam there. There's 4 high points. You just got to turn the motor over to where the points are resting on that high point. And then this kit that we bought came with the feeler gauge, 0.025. So you just adjust it so that goes in there with that cam on the high spot, and you're ready to go there. So this dust cover was missing when we pulled that apart. So we're going to get this lined up on there. So that covers everything and keeps it all lined up. And then there's a little clip. You have to pull this little clip out first. So once you get that dust cover on, all new plugs, new plug wires, new distributor cap and rotor, new coil, new points and condenser, and down in there got the new carburetor on. So at this point all we got to do is get some gas going to that carburetor, and we're ready to try this thing, see if we can get it to fire. Okay, just an update here. Couldn't get it to fire. So anyway, when we first started messing with this, the timing on this was pointing at number 2. They've got on this cap, I don't know if you can, yeah, right in here on the cap they've got a number 1. And so when you're on top dead center on number 1 on the compression stroke, that's the direction that this is supposed to be pointing, this distributor cap. and it wasn't. It was pointing at number 2. So somebody, before we got messing with it, had this distributor out and had it lined up the wrong direction. And so let me see if I can get the camera to focus and show you here. Well, it doesn't look like it's going to focus down in there. Anyway, long story short, there's a little button right here, and then when you get in there on the flywheel, there's some markings. It says minus or plus 20, and then minus or plus 5, and then 0. And so you need to have that on top dead center on the 0. And it's got to be on the compression stroke, so you've got to mess with it up here to make sure it's on the compression stroke. And then when all that happens, this distributor is supposed to be in here to where this is going to be pointing at number 1 on the cap. So that's what we're doing here. Kind of been a pain, but we'll see if we can get it lined up. Okay, it is the next day. We gave up last night. Started getting a little bit late and couldn't get it to fire. It popped, but it wouldn't fire. So I went home last night and I did watched a few videos, and I was doing things correct on the timing. So that part was right. But I wanted to point out something that I did do that was wrong. This we ordered just a complete kit, and that kit came with this dust cover. There wasn't a dust cover on it already before there wasn't a dust cover, and I just assumed incorrectly that the dust cover had been abandoned in the past. But watching the videos, that dust cover on the 8 ends doesn't belong there. It was for a different model, so that you could use that same kit for different tractors. So I'm going to eliminate that. Another thing that was incorrect, I had showed you earlier just that bare wire that somebody had put in there that went up here to the points, and that bare wire was incorrect for sure, and it had some strands coming out that were hitting the side, which I thought was probably the problem. So I put this insulated wire on there, but the correct thing, part that I don't have, is this coming up from this outside post is just a little copper band. It's supposed to be a copper band instead of a wire. So that's something that's still incorrect from originally. So anyway, we're gonna do a little work here and give things another try. Another thing we've done, we're rigging a little bottle here to get more consistent fuel into that carburetor. Okay.
Sprayed behind it.
I think that carburetor
What's the matter with it?
it's dripping gas now. so I'm afraid it's flooded.
Oh, this is too much with this.
No, that should be fine. Let's crank it a little bit with the throttle wide open and the So I just wanted to show you, I pulled that wire out, and since we didn't have that little piece of copper, somebody else had eliminated it, I just went ahead and made one. We just took a piece of copper piping and made that little piece out for it. Okay. She's alive! Well, it ran a little bit.
Yeah.
That's great. That's the first time that it's ran for many, many years. Okay, just a quick little closeout video here. Sure fun to breathe life back into these old tractors after sitting for so many years. The bucket goes up and down, although it's kind of slow. I think we need to check the oil, make sure there's plenty of oil in it, but it did work. And that exhaust cleaned up real nice. So once it warmed up and everything, the exhaust cleaned up really good. And we're just ready to go forward here to the next stage, which would be to do a complete service on it and get the hood and the fuel tank on it and just go from there. The way it drove, I think it's going to be a nice little tractor. Thanks for watching.